boating trip in for the end of summer. And a beautiful, beautiful day. Got a real mix of sailboats and pleasure craft, recreational craft out here. City of Chicago, right here, this very spot is very historic. This used to be the port of Chicago. And from about 1870 to 1920, this was the second busiest harbor in the United States.
Craft beer. This water is eventually headed towards St. Louis. Just gotta know that. Good enough cold slope here at the Chicago landmark. Insulation on it whatsoever, and the heater wasn't big enough to get the heat tossed out there. Plus, when it freezes up out here, it's hard to get supplies. So we did 1 year and said. For 9 months, it's great. but for 3 months in the winter, Great Lakes were draining through quite rapidly because there's a pretty steep grade between here and drink one open in the car in Texas. At least last time I was there. And it's the reason people always wave at you, in Texas is that you think they're being friendly. It's just everybody's carrying. Everyone's packing a peacemaker. To build the Victor Slagger. And then our granddaughter, if you will, the Christopher Wheatley, built in 2001. She's now of legal age. She's over the age of 21, Christopher Wheatley. Yes, so all the boats are... One of the things that helps it open and close is that the deck which cars drive on is an open grid pattern and reduces the weight by not being solid. It also increases the noise as we go under. But I got to tell you about this St. Regis Tower over here on the left-hand side. Before the sun burns a hole in your eyes, it's the third tallest building in Chicago, 1,191 feet tall. They had a hard time building it up there. It didn't pass the wind tunnel test. So it just may look like an aesthetic, but actually it's a part of the aerodynamic design. No doubt. But I think it's quite a nice walk, whether you're on the south side or north side. A style. You see, 1961 and very utilitarian. Nothing more than what you have to have. One tower, it's square, it was really inexpensive to build, and then here it is. It is a double-leaf bascule bridge, just like the Chicago Bridge should be. But you see the difference in this, and then we're going to pass under several 100-year-old bridges, and architecturally speaking, very different. So that you could see forever back then. It was the tallest building in the United States, west of New York City. On the far, far right over here, you see the Chicago Tribune Tower, built in 1925. It's 100 years old this year. Over here on the left-hand side, the steps back in the teens and 20s, over 100 years ago. This was dockage where they used to port on ships that would go out into the Great Lakes. And the largest marine disaster in U.S. history happened right over here on the left-hand side. On a hot July day in 1915, the U.S. boarding passengers, 2,200 sunk down. 844 men, women, and children died right over there in 1915. As a result of that, the United States Coast Guard moved over the inspection of all passenger boats, including this one. We've got a sticker over here on the right-hand side. A railroad track. That railroad track goes into the central business district and loops around. This is the beginning. Those statues are called Titans of Industry, built in 1930. Of course, in 1930, they only had men Titans, no women allowed. But have no fear. I see some empty pedestals, and you know ladies are always on a pedestal. So, still hope. Still hope. Put some ladies on a pedestal. So we are coming up on the confluence of the three branches not stop fish in the Chicago River. They don't stop fish. So these are naturally occurring fish, and now that the river's so clean, everybody wants to build on every available spot along the river. And what you're going to see over here on the right-hand side is some really, really unique structures built on railroad property. So I told you about the Fulton House. It was here, it is really hard to move, so there are train tracks immediately behind it. And then this next building, you can see there's a slight curvature in the building. There's equal connection. And so the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Daley, called them the plumbers union into the office. And they thought, oh my God, we're going to be in trouble. Went into his office and he said, what happened? He said, well, there's a lot of illegal connections. We found them, you know, turn the river green. He goes, can you do that every year? And they go, what? Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, I want to tie the river green. That was really cool. So they started. So back in the 1920s, symmetry was really important. You know, they didn't want to just build. And then also the three towers that are joined together, like the Sears Tower, and that union gives strength and stability so the tower doesn't rock back and forth. Over 100 stories tall, 1,191, and absolutely actually difficult to see the river up that high, above the 80th floor. But you see, hence the color blue. Hence the color blue. For all of its innovation, exists in the Guinness World Book of Records for its innovation, but because it's the tallest building in the world designed by a female architect. Jeannie Gang is her name, and Jeannie Gang is she's a Chicago native, grew up in Belvedere, Illinois, not far from the Wisconsin border. Jeannie Gang. I don't know how to spell it. You can look it up. She's done a lot of building. Over here, just to the right-hand side, far right behind these two buildings in front of us, you see this the balcony, the Wavy balcony. That was her first design in downtown Chicago, Jeannie Gang. And then she did the St. Regis Tower in Jeannie Gang also, which at 1,191 feet is the tallest building designed by female.